As Chip completed another round of Bitbuster-style checkers, he stepped into the next level with confidence. "Ha!" said Chip, and they thought they could stump me with a checkerboard again. He started exploring the next level. "Whee!" he exclaimed as he slid around its 4 floors, finding computer chips along the way, but also feeling like he was gliding in circles at the same time. Soon, what seemed like such a simple puzzle turned into a dizzying nightmare. After a while, Chip frowned and recalled Melinda's earlier dispatch. "I know she said that these levels could all be solved, but I'm just not seeing how this level could be." What's up, everybody, and welcome back to more CCLP3. I'm JB, you know the drill. This level is titled Possible. That's all it's named. And it's actually got kind of an interesting history behind it. You can see the pi symbol there in the upper area, which is Pi Guy's trademark for a lot of his levels. And this level was designed by him. The one for Roadblock was hidden off to the side off screen, basically. But at any rate, this level has an interesting tale behind it. It's based on what some people call the impossible riddle, where you have to go through like a 3x3 matrix group of squares twice, I think. I think we have to go back this way. Yep, okay. And what we did, one of the things that we did with this level in the set was that we took the hint in Recess, level 25, and we said this level is possible too. I mentioned earlier that was sort of meant to be a joke after going through Impossible, the level that Mike made that sat at level 24. However, it also stands as a reference to this level, since that level also features going through a 3x3 grid that has kind of an impossible setup at the end if you couldn't go through twice. So it was basically meant to be an allusion to this level, which a lot of people I don't think have recognized. So I figured I'd go ahead and put it out here now. That's one of the little Easter eggs that we put into the set. So, yep, that's the story behind Possible. Pi Guy also made a level called Impossible, which didn't have that extra recessed wall there on the right that made the level possible. And it was actually impossible, so pretty cool. Anyway, this level is called Mediterranean. It's a level I designed a while back, and it's yet another level where the title had to be changed. It was originally titled Puzzle Potpourri, but we ended up changing it just because the word puzzle was used in so many levels already, and we figured we needed a little bit more variety than that, so we decided to go with this instead. But Puzzle Potpourri is probably a good term for it anyway, just because it does kind of capture a lot of what this set was all about. Cloner's mazes and boot switching areas, and you know the drill, that kind of thing. It also has a very crazy boulder route, which Jeffrey and I recently collaborated on, which was fun. Really, really enjoyed that. Alright, and this should be the last one. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just start going around here. Ooh, that worked out perfectly, timing-wise. Alright, so now we have only 4 left. You have to go through some rooms twice. This one, for instance, is a good example. And then go down here for that. Okay, so now we can get the last challenge in here. Originally, I made this so that you had to guess which place you had to push the block. And I think originally you actually had to go through the bottom, not this way. And it was funny because Modhav said that wasn't guesswork. I'm not sure exactly what he meant by that. Maybe it was placed symmetrically. Like it was... Well, no, it wouldn't have been symmetrically because both of them are technically... I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure exactly what he meant by that. But either way, we removed that need for guesswork, which I think is a relief to a lot of people, to be honest. So this area right here, there's a hint out here that gives a little bit of guidance for this. Although you can kind of tell just by looking at the setup there on the left. The red button should be pressed only once. So yeah, you don't want to clone more than one block for that area. I could have put water there to avoid that. I don't know why I didn't do that. Oh. That wasn't really what I had in mind. Alright, we can salvage this. I believe we can salvage this. Alright, so go down this way. Okay, there. So now it's going to go around there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in like this, and that should be enough. Yeah, okay. So now the toggles are flicking or flickering, or whatever you want to call them. Rock likes to say flickling, I think. Alright, and I think we need to go down. Yep. Thankfully, this is not quite like turn, 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 or it's really mean if you don't get the timing right. Come on. There we go. And we're done with Mediterranean. Moving on to Billiards. This is yet another Alice Voith level that's about a game, and it's actually got a pretty cool hint. The keys are your keys to success. Spend some time, but not too much, on them. So what the hint's really trying to tell you is that you need to push the blocks onto the keys. This is something that some of the staff for CCLP3 actually didn't recognize immediately when looking at this level. But this will ultimately lead all the fireballs out to the trap buttons where they need to go. And you still end up with a block that you don't really need to use if you do it that way. Oh, looks like I will need to use it because one of the fireballs made it there. Okay, that button is not getting some love, so let's push this up there. Wow, you can actually hear the buttons going like every half move. That's crazy. And also a little bit annoying, but still not. It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. So I gotta admit, I don't have the bold time on this level. I don't know what it involves, although I do have some ideas, but I haven't been able to make it work. And I'm gonna do this part the quote-unquote safe way. There is a solution that involves using some fireballs from this area down here. And you can do that by just bridging down and just basically sending them up. I'm pretty sure that in some capacity the bold route involves that. But it's kind of more of a question of how you order everything. That is the unanswered portion of this. Yeah, that's kind of a little annoying, so let's try to finish this up. So yeah, I love how there's 6 pockets that you have to get everything into. It's kind of cool. I also remember that we were spending a lot of time optimizing this level back when Alice released her set, which was really fun. Okay, so I'm trying to remember. Okay, I'm pretty sure we can just get by with just bridging without doing anything else. I mean, we'll send some fireballs through here, but that's not going to be catastrophic or anything. Okay, there we go. And now he gets a hit a fireball on every move thing here. And this is what I'm thinking that the bold route doesn't involve, is somehow you can avoid doing that. Maybe you can send a fireball back through the entire line and it'll send everything into the water. I don't know if Monster Order will allow that, but it would be really cool if it did. Anyway, No End in Sight is the next level, and this is an interesting study in partial posting. It was made by Joshua Bone, and it's a pretty cool level. It also inspired a level by Jeffrey titled The End is in Sight, which I haven't yet played, but it looks pretty interesting. So I'm going to just push blocks into this area so I can get my suction boots. This was one of the first bolds that was ever achieved in CCLP3, like one of the first bolds that's still standing, I should say. I remember Pie Guy reported the bold on this. So, I haven't mentioned this for a while, but in case anyone's wondering where the term bold came from, as far as the fastest achieved score on a level, it actually came from the days of the MSCC Chartered Shipsters forum, in which there was this practice where they had a scorecard, and anytime someone got the highest recorded score for a level, is this the way you do this, or is it the other way? Let me try this way first. Alright. Oh, right. we actually need to press the toggle button, which is also hidden. Alright, so let me do this. But yeah, every time they did that, they would actually just bold the entry on the scorecard, which was pretty cool. Okay, this is a little interesting, but doable. So there was also a term called going purple, where they would make all the scores purple if everyone got the bold time. So, fun fact. Anyway, Maginot Line is the next level. This was one that I made quite a while back when I was obsessed with Tom Rao's levels, because I remember he had a lot of levels that were kind of like this, where he had a bunch of chips and a bunch of monsters, and also monster manipulation stuff. It was loosely based on the whole concept of the underground facility that was built by, I think, the French in World War II. I forgot exactly who built it, but essentially they tried to survive down there, and then it... Really? And I think it got destroyed or something by the Nazis, or I forget exactly what happened, but it was pretty sad. I'm just going to go ahead and set this room up for the end, because I'm going to use fireballs up there, so let me just do that, just to be on the safe side, quote-unquote. So this level, James Anderson recently achieved a new bold on this level, and it is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Jeffrey and I were just spending, like, I think we spent several hours at least just getting individual seconds, and eventually we... Okay, this is getting a little crazy. We eventually got the confirm on it, and we tried to find more seconds, but it turns out we found out a lot of the same time savers, with the exception of one that was rather different, but still, it was quite an interesting optimization experience. Alright, those are all stable. I really want to get them stable, but in a room like the one we're about to enter, that's kind of hard when they go different directions. So I'm going to try to do this. Okay, that's a little bit better. Okay, cool. Awesome. Alright, so... Oh, I didn't mean... Okay, let's do this. I need to get the gliders in here. Alright, so this section, this is basically lead monsters around, and... Okay, yeah. This is going to be a little bit tricky since I'm not optimizing right now. But yeah, that's basically the lead monsters around to trap buttons section. And it's kind of a little bit... Okay, this... I'm in hindsight, I'm really wishing I didn't include this in the set. It did very well in voting. So obviously some people liked it back then, but I can kind of see now that levels like this that, again, are just purely made for optimization can be rather annoying. And that's the thing, you know, Jeffrey recently released a video during his Josh CCLP3 Let's Play where he talked about CCLP3 and kind of what he's hoping it will be like. So I'm going to kind of go on my own soapbox here. At least it'll be a little bit more on topic than politics. But I've got to admit, really, did that just happen? I forgot that can happen. Yeah. But anyway, Jeffrey recently went on this soapbox, which was really good, where he talked about how CCLP3 needs to really have a balance between, you know, being accessible enough but also being interesting enough with difficulty. And I gotta admit, I really level with him in that arena, because that's been my struggle making these CCLPs with the rest of the staffs that, you know, I've been working with for CCLP3 and 1. And part of the problem is that your experience while doing this can easily be colored by what happened before, which can sometimes be a little bit of a dangerous place to be. I mean, it can be good, but it can also be kind of a, you know, let's avoid this just because I made this mistake and I don't want to make this mistake again. And so you end up just kind of swinging the pendulum in the opposite direction when you do stuff like that. Alright, so I'm going to try to play it safe by doing that kind of setup, except apparently I'm not going to do it there. Let's see. What can I do for this part? Let's do that. Okay, there we go. I'm generally pretty good at determining like when it's safe, when that kind of thing comes up, the two spaced thing. Okay, there we go. So my original quote-unquote intended solution for this level involved using blocks to do all this, but I left the option to use monsters in case someone wanted to do that. So that's the story behind that. Alright, so we got that taken care of, and now we still have chaos in that room, so hopefully no monster will escape that area. Alright, and now we can do the ending area. Oh boy, this area is... this is... I'm really nervous about this. Alright, so... Alright, there we go. And... ooh... I can do this, I guess? That'll work. Let's try that. I'm just trying to play it safe here. I just don't want any accidents to happen. Okay, there we go. And now they're hitting a button on every move with the gliders down there. I'm going to do this one next. I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm going to do this one next. Let's try that. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, good. Okay, now I need to take them down there. How am I going to get that safely? I can do... Okay, I'm a little lost on this. I know there's a way. I just don't want to get into that trap. Do I have to go around? I'm probably going to have to go around. That's probably the best way to do this. So let's do it that way. This is starting to remind me a little bit of Map the Path and some of the tactics that were used there. And, whoa, okay. I pretty much panicked right there. Okay, if I had to restart the level, I'd be really upset right now. Okay, let me just be careful here. I want to get you guys out of there, but I also want to be careful. So I can use this corridor that I'm building right here to do that. Okay, at least they're together, so they won't have a collision. Okay, and then finally I can feed them through here to go up there. Okay, that should work. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. If those sounds sound really weird to you, I'm sorry. Okay, I can do that. I think that should allow them to go up once I... Dun, 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 dun. Okay, there we go. There we go. Maginot Line finally solved. Yay. Alright, on to another level I made called To Catch a Thief. So, the whole gimmick here is you can see right there the exit's way down there, and you have skates that you're stuck with. So you had to find a thief to get rid of the skates. And this hint says that trap buttons can be held down in multiple ways. This level is a pretty giant puzzle, and it's a pretty tricky one too. I'm going to have to remember how I did this, but essentially you got a lot of moving parts and a lot of different items you have to collect. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get this. I'm going to have to remember what the tank does here, but whoa, 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 whoa. Easy there, Mr. Paramecium. Okay, yeah, we need to push the tank button. This is also a very fun bold route to figure out. Very, very fun. So anyway, I'm going to go back to my little thing about CCLP3 here in a little while after we're done with this level. Actually, after we're done with the level, after this level, I should say. So this is an example of why pedantic trap connections can be bad sometimes, depending on how they're set up. You'd think this connects to this, but actually it connects way down, or not way down, but it connects to the trap over here by where the teleport is, whereas this button connects to over there. Yeah, that's kind of a little mean now that I'm looking back on it. But, you know, I was justifying it with, oh, it's pedantic, you know, like, it's not really the greatest reason to be doing that. So I think the next thing we need to do is open up the toggles like that. So this allows us to get this, but it also closes the toggle wall that's by the green door down by the teleport area. So I'm going to go and loop around like this, and let's see here. Okay, I think we need to keep this held down for now. And I believe that this block will eventually be used to fill in the water, if I'm not mistaken. So what we can do is we can go up, now that the trap button's being held down, get the blue key, and then we can eventually get the fire boots once we get the blue door opened up, and we can head back in and then use the other recessed wall. I'm pretty sure that's the way this will work out. I think. Let's just try it out just to be sure. Except, hang on, I'm gonna have to. If I'm gonna use the other recessed wall, I'll have to enter in this way. Okay, there we go. So right now, I can push you up here. I also believe that there are a couple. I think there are a couple different ways you can handle this area here, but I'm going to do this and then use the ball to hold down the button. I'm not sure if there's a solution which the block does it. I think my original intended solution involved something like that, though. So right now, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and just go back and get this chip first. Like that. So that's a chip collected, and now I can, just making sure, I can grab this. Okay. Okay, so now the ball is holding down the trap button. And, oh wait, I can go through here and do the thing here again. Except first, I really want to push this through, so let's push this through. And I can, well, I'll take care of that in a minute, but... Oh wait! I took the block off. Duh. Why did I think that was a good idea? I have no idea. Anyway, I don't need that other recessed wall for anything. I think my original intended solution for this was actually a lot more complicated. Like, I think it actually involved using the tank to hold down the trap button way over here, but you can actually circumvent that. So there are multiple ways to do this, believe it or not. And that was dumb. So let's not speak of that again. But yeah, this is a level that I want to one day make a Walls of level out of it, because I think this could be a fun level to do that with. In fact, I'm kind of surprised no one has done it already, just because a lot of those levels do tend to be rather compact and stuff. I'm not saying that, you know, it's as if to advertise, oh, use my level for stuff and blah, blah, blah. I mean, it's not that. It's just, you know, usually a lot of those levels are kind of laid out this way. But I guess part of the appeal of making levels like that is you really want the new level to be something different, and I have no idea why I just went up there. That was dumb. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess I can start talking about CCLP4 stuff again. So, like I said in Maginot Line, one of the things I think we all tend to do, and I know I've been guilty of this, is we tend to swing the pendulum the other way when we make a mistake. And I certainly made quite a few mistakes with this set. Not the least of which was that I was kind of wanting to do another CCLP2 in terms of how the set was built, but I was also kind of using... what's the word? I was also kind of allowing my own expectations for the set to play into everything, which is not really a fair thing to do. Like, it's not really right, and everything. And so I'm going to leave that there, and let's see, since I have a blue, okay, yeah, I can go around. So one of the things that I did, and mainly just because I was one of these people as well, who really wanted an optimization heavy set, was that I was thinking to myself, okay, we're not going to have another CCLP for who knows how long. Thankfully, that ended up not really being true, but it was very easy to think that that was true just because we had waited for, like, I don't know, 7 years, I think it was, 8 years, I forget exactly how much, but we had waited for a very long time, for the set to be built. And so it was very easy to think that it would be a very, very long time before another set was built. So I thought, okay, this set needs to keep us busy until CCLP4 comes out. Well, thankfully CCLP1 came out, but it is still a pretty long time between CCLP3 and now. Who knows when CCLP4 will really be released. So, okay, the button, okay, yeah, that is being held down by this. So I'm going to go and I think there is a solution in which you don't... Yeah, I didn't take that recessed wall earlier. I didn't even need the suction boots, but I'm going to use them anyway. So, yeah, I tried to avoid that with CCLP1, and so instead of using just pure voting results and just taking the top 149 levels, what I try to do is I try to organize them by categories and subcategories so that we actually had a pretty balanced set. Now, granted, there were some level design tropes that made their way into the set quite a bit, but, I don't really mind that just because... Okay, I'm trying to remember how to do this. This is another one of my levels. It was one of the first levels I made, like in the quote-unquote modern era. I'm trying to remember how I did this. This is like a sardine thing. Oh, right. Okay, so I know there are multiple ways to do it, but I do have to know that I'm going to use a block there, I think. I'm trying to remember how I did it. It may not be there. I could be wrong on that. But you're supposed to get a glider through all this stuff, so that's pretty much the... I did not do that! The game just thrust me in there. So anyway, there are a lot of very clean levels, but we really wanted to emulate the sort of, artistry of CC1, if you want to call it that. So that's kind of what we stuck with. And a lot of the designers were, trying to achieve that sort of thing in their levels. So yeah, how do you get more blocks in here? I'm trying to remember this. Because the glider's going to go through... Here I am stuck on my own level again. This is rather silly, but I'm going to just try putting this here and seeing what happens, because we are going to get flippers eventually, so hopefully this, crossing fingers, that doesn't mess anything up. Okay, good. So I'm going to just go ahead and bridge through here. Eventually we want the glider to hit that bomb. So I'm going to just start moving blocks out here, just because I do know that we need some out this way. And... Oh wait, it's a fireball! Okay, that makes way more sense. Yeah, okay, that makes way more sense. Alright, it's a fireball. I was like, glider? What? There was just something that felt wrong about all that. Alright, fireball. I'm like, glider wouldn't do all the things I was remembering it was going to do. Alright, let me put this over here since it's already on this side, like that, and that should carry the fireball all the way down. Okay, yeah, that was a really embarrassing flub. So yeah, the fireball is going to go through this way. I need to bridge out over there. And then I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to put him down over here. Okay, this is what I was thinking of earlier. Okay, that should do it. Alright. Silly me. This is also a really fun level to optimize. But yeah, I'm really hoping that CCLP4 will be kind of something for everybody. So anyway, which one next? I'm just going to go ahead and play the boulder out for this. This is just basically an item swapper. level that Jimmy Vermeer made. I alluded to it earlier when I talked about Toolbox when we were on that level. So yeah, this is just a very long item swapper. That's pretty much all it is. So anyway, with CCLP1, we did have a lot of clean, quote-unquote, levels, and a lot of levels that were very well designed. And that was mainly just because I wanted the design quality to be consistent. But I wouldn't mind playing around with that for CCLP4. Like, I wouldn't mind if the staff decided to just put some really weird stuff in there. But at the same time, you know, you do want some standard of quality that you can expect. You know, when you play a game, you know, you expect the whole game to be, you know, pretty consistent as far as stuff like that is concerned. So it's a tough balance, but you know, if you find just the right amount of stuff to do for, you know, each thing that you really want to make sure the set has, it's not that bad. And I think Jeffrey is pretty knowledgeable about stuff like that, just based on how much he's talked about it. And he also has the experience of leaving the community and coming back to a set. In this case, it was CCLP3. So I think that's really helpful. So in case anyone's wondering, I'm not really technically on the CCLP4 staff other than an advisory kind of position where I'm just kind of helping out with administrative stuff, you know, as far as making sure that the processes are in place, you know, kind of like I don't want to say a project manager, that's kind of what it is. I'd say Jeffrey and Josh are more project managers as leaders of the staff, but I'm just kind of serving as sort of a consultant, if you want to call it that, just in case they have any questions. I personally plan to just leave the staff once voting starts, just because I don't want to know what's going to go into the set before it's released. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing what's in the set. It's going to be really fun to play and to optimize and everything. One of the things that Jeffrey mentioned in his video that I was talking about earlier was that we really need a level that subverts expectations, you know, somewhere in the set. And I mentioned this level, I think, during my CCLP2 Let's Play, but Rock Generu had a level called Maze, in which you started off the level and you felt like you were in a maze, and then there was like all these invisible walls, but then once you venture beyond the invisible walls, then you discover that there is no maze at all, and it was just all in your head, which is such a fun idea. Like, I love that concept. It's really cool, and some people will say that that doesn't deserve to be in a CCLP, but honestly, I just think you need levels like that in a CCLP. Just something that shakes everything up. You know, just something placed kind of sort of late into the set, maybe halfway through. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. It would be really cool. So I'm glad someone else agrees. Anyway, we're on the home stretch of which one next. So yeah, this is my optimized route. I actually had to go back and optimize this a second time recently just because this wasn't on my TWS that I've been using. But at the same time, I was able to get a slightly better solution on the public TWS on PyGuy's site, where you can download the fastest publicly released tile world solutions. So that's pretty cool. Because it was one move faster. I think PyGuy missed a boost when he recorded his. But yeah, he used a computer program to optimize this, which is pretty crazy. And that's which one next done. Alright, so moving on to Replay 2. So this level was not made by Mike, who made the original replay. This was made by Ida Robertson. And this time it's based on doors. You have to pick which doors you go through. And I do happen to know that there is a door down here, I think. It's this one that leads to a green key. And this leads to 2 keys. So now we can grab 2 yellow keys at the same time. Or, wait, 2 yellow... Yeah, 2 red keys. My bad. 2 red keys at the same time. And that's blocks. I'm going to go this way. Because all these doors are red doors. So I'm just going to pick some rooms here that aren't too bad. There are a lot of different options here. I think there's technically more options than the original replay had as far as getting chips. And some rooms, I want to say, give you differing amounts of chips, which is pretty interesting. So you really have to weigh your options as far as how far each room is with what you're getting out of each room, which is pretty neat. It was also this level that was originally titled Replay. It's where we got the name that we eventually used for Mike's level as well. So I'm going to get these. I'm just going to leave the toggling the way it is. I don't really want to mess with that. I'm not going to go into the fire water boot room just because that room is rather lengthy to do. In fact, I think it's technically the longest room to do on its own. This room, you do have a choice here. Oh, whoa! Okay, I forgot that was pointing the other way. I thought you had to go that way. Yeah, you do have a choice here, so I'm going to go this way. I'm not going to go into the invisible wall bug maze. That looks rather annoying to do. And I'll get this other chip. Now, if you got the fire boots from the fire room earlier... Oh, I can't get it. Yeah, if you did, you would be able to get that, but you can't. That way, at least. And I'll get one more key. Should be enough to exit the level with. Maybe there aren't really more options here than the original Replay. Wait, did I just use... I guess I did use a key there. So this room is interesting. This takes a very long time. But at the same time, you immediately get a red key, so you wouldn't have to go back for one. Which is pretty awesome. I'm not sure if I want to exit on the Joyride room, as I'm calling it, with the Force Force, because there is an exit there, but it's very difficult to reach if you're just casually playing this. So I think... Yeah, I think I might actually cross over to the other side. So let me go and grab another red key real quick. Oh, come on, really? I could have gone to the one on the left, I guess. Alright, so let's go through this door, and I'll just hold all these down just so we don't have any questions about which one connects where. Because I know they all connect in weird spots, I think. Anyway, Lichtenstein, it's supposed to be Lichtenstein, but we just kept the original spelling. This was made by Joshua Bone. It's a pretty fun, compressed level. So there's a rather interesting gimmick that this level has that I really enjoy. It's rather fascinating in Lynx, just because Lynx works a little bit differently than MS does in this regard. But you'll see that there's a tank bouncing around down over here. On the left side, where we're about to go. Not that one, although that one is certainly a thing, but the one down below. Now, an interesting thing about that tank is that once we remove this isn't going to make the difference, but if we were to remove the... Oh, I forgot to get the chips there. Okay, let me remove this first. That would be probably the more prudent option. But, so if we go and remove the chip down there, the tank's going to hit a toggle button and it will trap itself, which we really don't want to have happen. But it's a fascinating idea. Like, I love the idea that you can totally mess with a level by some monster just doing something that could be potentially catastrophic like that. So, pretty fun level. I really like this a lot. On the staff, we were kind of wondering if Lichtenstein was a reference to the country or the artist Roy Lichtenstein. I forgot exactly which one Josh ended up saying it was, but I remember we had that debate. So don't get the chip, at least yet, because if you do, you're not going to be able to even get to this block. And you can't really quite see... There's the toggle button. Real quick there. You can do some crazy things while optimizing by trapping it there and then bridging up here and then making it go back. And so now, like, okay, so I think now we're going to have to do it. So right here, I'm just going to switch the toggle, or the tank toggling there. So right now, the toggle here is open. We can get this. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do a little bit of experimentation with getting the tank back up to its original path, essentially. Did that work? Let's see. Evidently not. Okay. Evidently not! It's one of my favorite memories of or moments in the original Captain America from 2010, was it? I forget what year it was. But the part where, what's his name? Red Skull is talking to that one Nazi guy, and the guy was like, "We fought valiantly. We fought to the last man." And then Red Skull says, "Evidently not," and he just shoots him there. I'm like, you don't say the last man in a situation like that. You just don't do that, man. You're pretty much screwed if you do that. Like, have you not watched any supervillain at all? Okay, I'm gonna do that again because I think that's the problem here. Is that okay? Did that do anything? No? Okay, come on. I know there's an easier way to do this. I'm forgetting what it is, and now I'm just messing up all the time. Okay, was that it? No? Really? Okay, let me go down here and study this again. So we have this little bit of room down there. Okay, so in between the two toggle presses is where I need to make sure I get that. And I need to press this again. I really need to press this again. Okay, I think that's right. No? Okay, well, really now, what am I missing here? This is getting silly now. Oh wait, no, I shouldn't have reversed it. Of course. Okay, so it's going to remain up there. Okay, so hit it again after the toggle or the tank button is pressed the second time. So there we go. I think that should do it. Right? Okay, I think... Okay, I just need to press the toggle button again. That should be all I need to do. I'm almost out of time, so hopefully... Wait, it went back down? What? Are you serious? You've got to be kidding, right? See, I thought there was a way that you could do this, or is there? Nope, okay. I'm just going to play the optimized route. I forget how to do this. I think it is possible by not getting the chip there, but I want to say there is a way to get it, and I want to show this in the Let's Play. I don't want to just leave you guys hanging like that, so I'm just going to play the route. I know this is kind of a cop-out, but honestly, when it comes to CCLP3, I have no shame in this. Like, seriously, I really don't. This set is hard enough, so I'm going to do this on a couple of occasions. Anyway... You guys have seen most of this part. We bridge up here to the red key. See, I thought we go, after this, we go through and we get that chip. Okay, I guess we don't. Okay. So you do have to leave the chip. Okay. I thought there was a way you could get through without, or with getting the chip. I thought you could do that. But you do have to leave the chip. Okay, that is really clever. So, fun fact about this level, it was actually originally really busted in its original release, where you could theoretically make it through the bottom with what I was doing earlier, where you didn't have to get the, or where you could get the chip, and then the toggle walls were closed and you could just squeeze your way through. But because of that, we decided to we put a toggle wall there so that it absolutely had to remain in the open configuration the whole time. So, a little fun fact for a change there that we had to make. Now we get the chip. Now we can exit. Okay. That's Lichtenstein. Done. And now we are almost to level 100, and we will pick up in the next decade with Ollie Ollie Oxen in the next video. So thank you all for watching, and I will catch you on the flip side. Take care, and I will see you then.